Hello and welcome to another episode of The Racing Report. My name is Rob Peeters, and on today's special episode, we are previewing the 67th running of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. It's finally here. We've got the starting lineup now, and let's talk about it. But before we do that, reminder that you can follow me on social media at rpeeters33. That's RPEETERS 33. Make sure to include those two E's, otherwise you might not necessarily find me. And also make sure to subscribe to WTHR on YouTube and to download the WTHR Plus app on your smart TV. Now, let's go ahead and talk about those duels because it was a great race. I felt like we put on some two very entertaining races to start off Speed Weeks. I guess the racing portion of Speed Weeks because we had the qualifying, which was on Wednesday, where Chase Briscoe set the fastest time and became an Indiana-based an Indiana Hoosier. Hoosier is on the pole, which is a great thing to see if you're based in Indiana, like I am. But then Austin Cindric is starting alongside of him. He was the second quickest, so that was the first row. That was set on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we had the duels. In duel number one, we had a little bit of a carnage chaos going on there. Chandler Smith running really well at the time, unfortunately, came down all across the nose of Justin Haley in turn number 2 and slammed the wall head on, collected a number of other cars, including Helio Castro-Neves, who really only got a handful of laps of drafting experience on Daytona for, I think, the first time since, I want to say, about 2005 or 6 in the IROC series. I believe that was the last time that Castro-Neves was behind the wheel of a stock car at one of these racetracks. Yes, I'm counting an IROC car as kind of a stock car. But anyway, it had been a while, so he was probably looking forward to getting that experience. Yes, he did get the experience in practice earlier on Wednesday, but in terms of really getting that drafting practice, learning where you're going to sort out in the draft during a race, I think Castro-Neves probably would have wanted more. And what that means then, too, is that he will be added as the 41st car in the Daytona 500. So this will be the largest Daytona 500 field since about, I believe, 2015, when they cut the field size down before they cut the field size down from 43 cars to 40. So 41 cars will be in the field. We'll have somebody starting shotgun on the field, and that'll be Helio Castro-Neves in row 21. And to be honest with you, I'm happy that this exists, because it would have been a major bummer to have all this build-up and all this, fanfare for Helio Castro-Neves. Been years in the making, at least a couple of years in the making, to get him out here in this Trackhouse Project 91 car. And if he did not make the field, I think a lot of people would have been disappointed. He himself would have been disappointed. Trackhouse would have been disappointed. Partners would have been disappointed. So even though Trackhouse now is not actually getting any prize money for whatever happens in the Daytona 500 on Sunday, they're still in the race. So no points. Castro-Neves won't win any points. They won't get any of that prize money, like I said. But at least he's in the race. Which is more than Chandler Smith can say, because Smith was driving for Garage 66, Motorsports Business Management. Small team. Carl Long brought a really fast car to the racetrack, but it's all torn up now. But unfortunately, that is how NASCAR is. And what's interesting is when I say that, Shane Van Gisbergen had an interesting comment during some media availability where he mentioned that it's crazy to him that drivers treat their cars like they're disposable at these racetracks. And they really do, to be honest with you. That's just the nature of restrictor plate racing, of super speedway racing in modern day NASCAR. You just kind of have to treat these cars like they're disposable, because if you don't, you're not going to win. And I think, gestures broadly, we could see how that came out. But in duel number 1, Bubba Wallace won the race. Also, duels pay points now, by the way, so Bubba Wallace is technically the points leader going into Daytona. So that was a big win for him. But then in duel number 2, you had a little bit more controversy. We couldn't get through a single NASCAR race without some controversy, right? It's just the nature of the game now. So the way duel 2 came down was you had a close photo finish. or so we thought. They wrecked coming to the caution flag, to the white flag, excuse me. They wrecked coming to the checkered flag, and everybody and they threw the caution. They threw the caution before the leaders took the checkered flag. So, of course, NASCAR is going to revert back. So originally what happened was it was said Eric Jones did technically cross the finish line first ahead of Austin Cindric, but instead NASCAR went back and ruled that the caution flag came out when Cindric was ahead and gave Cindric the win. This led to an awkward situation where Jones, who had already parked on the front stretch and started celebrating, was then suddenly informed, hey, you might not have won this. And then it became an awkward kind of television moment for Fox there until Austin Cindric was declared the winner. And honestly, it didn't even matter. The thing is, that's the thing that's weird is, as frustrating as this was, and as frustrating as it was as a fan to wonder, well, why is NASCAR throwing the yellow when they're coming to the checkered flag in the trial? Well, that doesn't make any sense. And of course, Mark Martin on social media pointed out that, hey, if they had done this in 2007, he'd have a Harley J. Earl trophy. So, I'm just saying, it is a little bit more, but of course, NASCAR's done this more often in the past. They're a lot more trigger happy with the caution flag when it comes to coming close to the end of these races. So I guess it's not too surprising. And again, it didn't affect the starting grid because either way, had Eric Jones won the race, he still would have started fourth. It wouldn't have mattered. Austin Cindric, by virtue of his qualifying time on Wednesday, was going to be the outside pole sitter regardless. So again, didn't change really anything, but in the history books, it's going to say Austin Cindric won Duel number 2 in 2025, whereas maybe it should have said Eric Jones. But as we talk about that, it is important to note that they have moved the Daytona 500 up to 1:30. So originally it was going to be a 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start with about the green flag coming out about 3 o'clock. Now they've moved it up by a full hour. So the green flag is expected around 2 o'clock now. Fox is already going to go on the air at 11 a.m. Eastern. So there'll be plenty of time to get ready for the Daytona 500. But again, like I said in last week's racing report, maybe you don't have to worry too much about rushing home from church or getting any of that yard work done that maybe you might need to. I don't know. Maybe you're in Florida and you need to do yard work. I don't know. You're not doing any yard work here where I am. So, but hey man, I'm of the opinion that a earlier start time is always better. I'm always thrilled whenever NASCAR goes to an earlier start time because hopefully this means then that the Daytona 500 will end under the daylight hours instead of under the nighttime hours. That's really what I want, to be honest with you. I would much prefer a Daytona 500 to end during the day rather than at night. But hey, let's talk about some of the underdogs. There were some really good qualifying runs in the qualifying races on Thursday night, and one of them was Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon, starting 7th, had a great run, was running out front during his duels. During the first duel, was running up front, out front, looking pretty good. Yeah, he was a little bit of a loose cannon coming down there toward the end of the race, but it looks like that 10 car is quite fast. So I'm curious to see how Ty Dillon runs on Sunday. I think he'll be pretty good. I think it'll be a good opportunity for Ty to hopefully make a name for himself now, having moved over to Kaulig racing. I mean, you can argue a lot, but this is probably his best opportunity to win a Cup race in his entire career. And I'm saying this full well knowing that he's had other opportunities like this, but this I think is his best. I think this one is his best, and I'll be interested to see how he does with that. Further along, somebody who did get into the race, who was an open car, Corey LaJoie, is going to start the race from the 12th position, just basically barely got in. Now, something interesting he said that I kind of question the ethics of, I guess, was he said during the press conference, and I'm serious, I pulled the transcript of this just to make sure. Apparently, he used his child's entire college fund to get this ride with Rick Ware Racing, and had it not been for Take 5 Oil and Duramax coming on to sponsor that, he would have probably been out of that money. Even worse, had he maybe not made the show, he would have been out that money as well. ethically speaking, that's crazy. I mean, it's one thing to mortgage your house or something, but whew. But hey, Corey LaJoie won't have to worry about that. He'll just be able to relax and go and try and win a Daytona 500 in a part-time effort for Rick Ware Racing. And then, you know what, Eric Jones, I have to talk about Eric Jones and Bubba Wallace, the two Duel winners. Those two are fast Toyotas. Looks like Toyotas are fast. Okay, we saw Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe set a blazingly fast time in qualifying both the first and the second round. To be fastest in both the first and second round was something I did not necessarily expect to see out of Chase Briscoe, but there it was. Absolutely blazingly fast. Didn't need to take a risk in the duel. Had a little bit of damage to the car, so maybe that could be problematic. But Eric Jones and Bubba Wallace, I would be one to watch. Bubba Wallace has been known to have some pretty good skills on superspeedway racing. And of course, Eric Jones scored his first win at Daytona in 2018 in the July race. So again, any of this is possible, right? And I'm excited to kind of see, who some of those front runners are by the end of the first stage. If it's Bubba, if it's Eric Jones, or maybe if it's somebody coming from the back. And when I say that, we've got three guys starting 39th, 40th, and 41st that I think you're going to want to watch, because Martin Truex Jr. starts 38th. He's in a one-off for Tricon. He also looked very fast. Keep in mind, he was the fastest open car, so he got in on time, as well as Jimmy Johnson, both also in a Toyota. So these are two fast Toyotas that are going to be coming from the back. If they get that good draft, because again, qualifying at Daytona doesn't necessarily matter all that much, but when you're coming from the back, you want to have that help. They'll have Elio Castroneves, of course, being the 41st starter behind them. So as long as Elio doesn't lose the draft, I think they should be able to work their way up. Now, the last couple of times Johnson has entered the Daytona 500, it has not necessarily ended well, so he was probably just hoping to finish the race. But Truex has some unfinished business. Remember 2016? In 2016, Martin Truex Jr. lost the Daytona 500 by the length of a fingernail to Denny Hamlin. And he's probably going to want to at least add a Harley J. Earl trophy to his trophy case before he officially hangs up the NASCAR helmet. Now, I think, and then in addition to that, I think the coolest storyline that you're going to want to watch all race is going to be Justin Allgaier, because Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in tears Thursday night when he found out he finally put a car in the Daytona 500. He didn't have to worry. Allgaier, and it was tight there. J.J. Yaley gave him a run for his money. I thought there at the very end he was going to get shuffled out, and Yaley was maybe going to to pass him, but no, Yaley lost the draft a little bit coming to the Tri-Oval, and Allgaier was able to hold position and transfer into the Daytona 500. So that is going to be Junior Motorsports' first ever Cup start in the Daytona 500, and it just made Dale Earnhardt Jr. so happy. So if you're a member of Junior Nation, a former member of Junior Nation, or you just loved his daddy, go look for car number 40 on Sunday, because I think Justin Allgaier is going to definitely give that car a run for its money. But again, when we talk about all these predictions and whatnot, I don't know who's going to win, because that's the thing about the Daytona 500. It's such a gamble. Anything can happen. You never know when the big one's going to strike. It could happen at any time. And I think, honestly, it's hard to pick, because the fast cars aren't always going to be the cars that are going to win the race, especially at Daytona. The fastest cars sometimes could end up wadded up on a flatbed going back into the garage area. It can happen. Sometimes the slowest car could make a run and somehow finish 6th or something. There was a year Kevin Conway finished 14th at Daytona. It was a July race, but still, it's possible. But lots of things to look forward to here in this year's Daytona 500. So remember, they have moved the start time up. It's 1:30 p.m. with a green flag time expected around 1:50 to 2 o'clock that time. So remember for that. But for everything else, that's been our Daytona preview. So thank you for watching this special episode of The Racing Report. Make sure to tune in and watch next week when we recap the race. And be sure to always keep it here, keep it local on WTHR Plus for all your news and racing news needs. All right, I'm Rob Peeters, and this has been The Racing Report.